What's up, brothers? We gotta talk. I want to talk to you. And I don't want to talk to you as a pundit or someone who's a critic or someone who's upset with you. I just want to talk to you as a brother who knows that we are not thinking politically when it comes to anything nowadays. From one black man to another who sees what's going on and can't stay quiet anymore. There's a conversation that we need to have. Like, really, we need to talk about it. Honest, grown, and frankly, very overdue. Donald Trump, hear me, is not your enemy. I know you think he is. He's not. Now, before you click away, hold on, before you go, I'm not saying he's your friend, but I'm saying he's not your enemy. By that same token, the Democrats do not and have not solved your problem. I'm not saying they're your enemy, but they're not your friend. And I think that we need to understand that. Now, I'm not saying you have to like Donald Trump. I'm not saying you have to vote for Donald Trump. But we need to stop letting the media, the culture, and old political narratives tell us who to love and who to hate without thinking for ourselves. Some of us are mad right now that a lot of black men voted for Donald Trump instead of voting for Kamala Harris. Okay? All right. And I will say that you maybe you have a point. However, the situation is what it is now, and we have to move forward. And we can't hold these old grudges, and we can't hold a grudge for any long, prolonged period of time because we have things that are necessary to get done. So hear me out. Let's think for ourselves. Because here's the flip side. Just like Trump isn't automatically your enemy, the Democratic Party is not automatically your friend. Look around you. Look at our communities. Look in the city of Memphis. Look in the city of Detroit. Look at all these places. What has changed? What hasn't changed? We've been loyal. We've turned out. We've protested. We've voted. Man, we've done all these things, but what have we gotten in return? I'm not talking about slogans or symbolism. I'm not talking about handouts. I mean, what have we gotten in return? I'm talking about results. What results have we gotten? Real policy, real empowerment, real ownership of land, businesses, ownership of even our future. We're depending on a political party for our future? How can that be? Because the party that we depend on needs its constituency to be broke and angry. That's how they motivate you to vote. They say these people are making you broke. And then they make you angry because these people are making you broke. And then what do? You go vote for them. This is crazy. Too often, our politics in our community has been reduced to race, and I mean just race. But we are not a monolith. People, when they really think, when they really talk with each other, and you take away labels, and you take away these different things that cause us to be at odds with each other. When you take those things away, people in the end ultimately say, hey, there's something wrong. We are not just a race. We are not just victims. We are fathers. We are entrepreneurs. We are thinkers. We are builders. We are more than just pain. We are more than just protest. We are more than just politics. We need a new kind of politics. We need a new kind of politics and answers that ask, first of all, before it answers anything, it asks hard questions. One that asks questions about economic power and economic empowerment. Not power that is given, because that is not power, but power that can be seized and controlled. What about school choice? What about education in general? Can you believe that there are people, us folk, complaining about the shutting down of the Department of Education as if somehow the Department of Education has helped our people? How is it that we are literally dumber now than we were before we integrated? How is that? How are we dumber now than before they created the Department of Education? Consider this with me, if you will. There are some school systems that have impossibly bad reading scores. But these same school systems are teaching your children at ages as early as 5 years old that they can choose what gender that they are. They can decide to be a boy and a girl. They can decide that they like boys and they're boys. They can decide that they are attracted to girls and they're girls. What kind of sick, perverted thing is that? But they can't read. They can't do math. And we vote for it as if somehow they're helping us. They ain't helping you. You gotta ask hard questions. What about family structure? We have a system that supports the disintegration of our families. Whatever you pay for, you will get more of. So if you tell someone that if you don't have an intact nuclear family, you will get more money, then you will inevitably get more unintact nuclear families. Whatever you pay for, you will get more of. What about criminal justice reform? True criminal justice reform. Think about this, if you will. I'm sitting here looking at this Abrego Garcia situation, and the world is defending this guy as to whether or not he really is affiliated with a criminal organization named MS-13. And they are saying, well, he only has tattoos that say these nefarious things. That's not proof that he's really in it. If this is the truth, then every black man that has been caught in a RICO charge, in a criminal enterprise charge, based on an affiliation with the GDs, or an affiliation with the Crips, or an affiliation with the Bloods, and the only way that they surmise that you're affiliated with these organizations is because you wear all red, or you wear all blue, or you have tattoos that say this or tattoos that say that. Every one of you ought to demand to have your cases reopened. Because if a tattoo is not proof, if paraphernalia is not proof that one is part of a gang or a criminal enterprise, then certainly, for certain, we have men that need to have their cases reopened. Because what proof is it of theirs that they can offer? But of course, that's stupid now, isn't it? Why is it stupid, Mr. Hall? Why is it dumb, David? It's dumb because last I checked, the Crips don't give membership cards. Who writes the names down of their gang ties? Who does that? This is stupidity. But they stand up and they forcefully say that there is no proof. And yet we have brothers sitting in prison right now with the same type of situation, saying that they're part of a criminal enterprise. Yes, we did talk about criminal justice reform. True reform. We have a reform. We have a system that sees people based on their political viability. So, black man, since you don't have any political viability, they try to warehouse you. 1 in 4 black men are in some type of trouble with the legal system. You don't have any political viability. They warehouse you. But at the same time, they promote our sisters. God bless our sisters. Our sisters have absolutely one goal. If they are able to not get pregnant and to graduate from high school without any children out of wedlock before the age of 25, they are basically guaranteed to be at least middle class. So when you have half of our race being promoted at that level and another half of our race that's not, what do you do with the other half? Well, you warehouse them. And then not only do you warehouse them, you make the prison system commoditized. Therefore, them being warehoused now becomes a money-making venture. We have some discussions to have that are necessary. We need to talk about responsibility, absolutely. Opportunity, absolutely. But most of all, restoration. It's not about left and right anymore. It's about forward. We need leaders who respect our intelligence and not just our vote. How is it that we have black churches that teach a strict moral code, and yet you let these degenerate politicians come sit in your pulpit and lecture you about how society ought to be? And then our own leaders turn around and say things like, well, we have to vote for the policy, not the morality. Oh, so on the one hand, you want to tell me that Donald Trump is the most immoral man you have ever met in your life? He is just terrible. He messed with porn stars. He messed with this. He messed with that. But your alternative is to tell me to vote for people who want to make my 5-year-old son into a 5-year-old girl. What's more perverted? Are you kidding me? You can't tell me how bad this guy is, and that's a reason not to vote for him. And then laud Bill Clinton. I feel as if somehow or another that somebody's missing something. And I'm not trying to defend this man, but I'm saying we've got to stop doing how we're doing. It doesn't make sense. We need people who respect our intelligence and not just want our vote, who treat us like men, not pawns, who offer ideas, not just common identity. So no, Trump is not your enemy. And no, Democrats are not always your friend. The truth lies somewhere in between, especially for us. And we owe it to ourselves and to the next generation to find it. Think different. Think different. Ask more. Not ask for more. Ask more. Demand better. Because simply if we don't, we'll keep getting played by both sides. If we don't, we'll always be where we were, and we'll always be where we are. If we don't, what changes? What gets better? So that's what we're going to talk about today on my new podcast, The Hallway, where I discuss kind of my political philosophy and how I see the world as it is. I will invite invective. I'll invite you to comment, to disagree. I look forward to taking your comments and your thoughts. I look forward to having you show up and say whatever it is you want to say. Be blessed, and I will see you soon. This is the first time we're doing this. Now, I'm going to get better. I'm going to get a lot better. I'm going to get better. Yeah, I'm going to get better. It's going to take a minute, but I'm going to get better. Until then, take care. Be blessed.